You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scot McKay.
All right, how's it going, gentlemen? This is your main man, Scot McKay, coming at you again with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop Podcast. Today, I want to talk about the infamous idea of quote-unquote liquid courage. Now, you've heard this term before, usually in the context of knocking a few back, and by a few, I mean several, alcoholic beverages of some sort, beer, wine, maybe something stronger like a couple double scotches, before you can grab your balls and approach a woman and get her number. Well, there's something to this. I'm not going to lie to you. Alcohol is a depressant. Alcohol has a somewhat legendary, if infamous, reputation for helping you get your guard down, lose your inhibitions. In other words, once you're a little bit tipsy, you're probably more likely to do the things that you would be too scared or somehow held back from doing socially if you hadn't had a drink or two of alcohol to, kind of lubricate things socially. Well, here's something that might strike you as odd. Whenever men come here for 10-plus live weekends, where they get here typically on a Thursday and leave on a Sunday, and it's balls to the wall in between meeting women out in field, I always strongly discourage any alcohol consumption during the course of that weekend. Well, why would I do that? Especially if the whole point of the weekend is to talk to as many women as possible and, get better at it. I mean, if alcohol is going to help grease the skids a little bit there, then why not just go for it? Well, here's the thing. By now, you guys know I'm all about authenticity. And the last thing I would want is for a guy to invest in himself, come here for 4 days, me invest the time to be out there in field with him, and have him get on the plane, go home, and go, well, that was the alcohol talking. I'm not always going to be able to have a couple drinks. If I'm out doing grocery shopping and I see a honey I'd like to talk to, and I haven't had a couple drinks, well, maybe, back when I did that 10-plus live with Scott, it was all kind of a fever dream, all alcohol-driven, and that's not who I really am, and that's not who I'm ever going to be. Well, I like to remove that excuse entirely when guys are here for 10-plus live weekends, because then when we're of completely sober mind and judgment, and then we go out there, talk to women, succeed at doing so, and these guys really start feeling into how successful they can be long-term talking to women even after they get back home, then that's real results. That is real progress in terms of talking to women. Anytime you are aiding and abetting your performance by using any kind of drug whatsoever, including alcohol, what you're doing is you're impeding your ability to go out there and succeed, recognize that success, revel in that achievement, and go out and replicate it on demand with or without alcohol. Now, if you want to go back home after a 10-plus live weekend and lubricate things a little socially before you go out and meet women on a Saturday night, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to hold that against you. But nevertheless, it is extremely important that we as men gain competence at those things we want to be competent at without the aid of alcohol, without the aid of anything artificial, all in the name of authenticity, but also in the name of building that self-confidence to realize it is me, myself, and I who are responsible for making this accomplishment happen. The success I feel is mine alone. It doesn't belong to a bottle of scotch. And I'm not the only one who feels like this. Right now, the Olympics are on, and any athlete who is found guilty of what they call doping is disqualified, right? Well, that's because anytime a drug helps you, it aids you, it assists you in any way, that's not your authentic self feeling into your own power and doing what you uniquely are capable of doing. Yes, gentlemen, you are able to go out, approach women, meet women, get their numbers, attract them. And the more of your natural self you are when going out and accomplishing those great things, the better you're going to feel about it, the better women are going to feel about it, and ultimately the more replicable that success is going to be for you over and over again. Gentlemen, I want to remind you that this coming Friday is the big 500th episode of the Mountaintop Podcast, where better men get better women. And we're talking about full episodes here with guests. For this illustrious event, my guest is none other than my co-host for the first 10 episodes ever of what used to be called the Chick Whisperer podcast. And that is, of course, Steve the Dean Williams, who, yes, is going to make his triumphant return to this show after 490 episodes. Don't miss it. It's a great show. We're going to talk about what is wrong with men and women nowadays, and of course, that unleashed one of our patented rants together. It's entertaining, it's funny, you don't want to miss it. Episode 500 coming this Friday. And by the way, gentlemen, if your interest has been piqued by this episode to come visit me for 4 days in San Antonio, let's talk about that. If there's anything else you want to talk about, you know the email address. It's scott@mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.